Yo, people, welcome back. Of course, before London Club's Carnage begins, I've got a sponsorship to begin. But listen, this is clothing that I'm wearing currently, so I'm actually backing this as well fully. It is really, really good from Shop 356, 365. And I must say, listen, guys, in terms of the quality of the clothing is serious, and my brother PYS on Twitter is part of this. So please back it in the comment section down below with the discount code MAH10 for the 10% off. Like I said, you can get free shipping as well for any order over £70. And like I said, use the code shipping 365 as well for that. But the clothing is really comfortable, really, really nice. It's really proper, and the designs are good as well. It's got some of your favorite slogans on there. And like I said, you could just scroll down here. You can see all the different types. You've got jumpers, you've got t-shirts as well. Like I said, the material is really good, really soft, and it's calm because you can wear it casually as well. You don't need to worry about, you know, can you only wear it on game day? Can you only wear it to the stadium? It's quite dressy. It's quite nice. So make sure you check it out, guys. And if you have any issues, customer service is all information 24/7. Inquiries at chelsea365.com. And also on Twitter as well at CFC 365 official on Twitter. So very easy to contact them if you have any questions, any queries. And like I said, very easy to change the currency as well between the different currencies. So you can do it from worldwide all across the globe. So without further ado, that's what I'm repping in the show. You'll see me wearing that on All You Can Eat Chelsea as well. So keep an eye out for that. And let's begin the show. Big up your damn selves. Let's go. Now, last time, big up, welcome back to London Club's Carnage. Last time, we didn't see Toby for the full show. Today, we've got double trouble in the building when it comes to Tottenham. They've both come in here to give us their Conte swagger and sprinkle on this show. We got a lot to discuss, so big up everybody joining us in the comments down below. You're going to enjoy this one when it comes to London Club's Carnage. Very much needed because, listen, we've been speaking about transfers the whole time. But now it's time to get into preseason a little bit, get a bit of feedback on how everybody's doing and how they're looking, because the season is not far away from starting, literally on the 6th of August. But before we get into it, Lawless, bro, how you doing? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm not too sure about what I've done to deserve two Spurs fans at the same time on the show, but, you know, we'll get through it. Have to say happy birthday to Tobs, but, you know, just because it's your birthday, don't mean I'm going to take it easy on you. Don't worry about that.
I don't care. You can do whatever you want.
Verbal birthday beats today.
You can do whatever you want. You always lose anyway, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah, all right. In your perspective. But yeah, no, happy to talk about it. Preseason going to be interesting. Congrats to Dan Potts. Undefeated. Invincibles are back. So, looking forward to hearing his perspective from the second coming.
Potts, bro, how you doing? Big up, man, for coming back to us.
What's all this chest Lawless has got all of a sudden? What's happening here? Like, what's going on, man? What's happening? No, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's good to see Fuad, to be fair. It's nice to get someone on the stream that speaks sense. No, I'm joking, Tobs. I love you really, bro. And listen, happy birthday, bro, in all seriousness. Thanks, happy birthday, and I hope you're enjoying yourself, man. And Matisse, always a pleasure, my bro.
Pleasure. And Tobes, man, listen, happy birthday to you, bro. But they were saying you're 30 with the head top, but you know the hair's thinning out as well. How you feeling?
I said that. Don't say Dave. I said that.
It's the rumors, bro. It's the rumors.
I said that. I said that.
It's been said.
Head top is definitely older than 30, but everything else has just turned 30. But thank you for having me on. I can't wait to rinse you about foot golf, about Chelsea. And I can't wait to shit on Lawless as well, and occasionally Dan Potts too. So yeah.
And our special guest for today, Fuad, bro, welcome back. It's been a while. We've missed speaking to you in the studio, man. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you feeling, man? I'm hoping you're gonna go easy on me, the foot golf thing. I hope you haven't seen it, man.
Bro. You know I love the carnage, man. Whether it's the show, whether it's foot golf. Listen, I'm here to discuss it today because after yesterday's stream with Tobs on the night before, I said to him, "Yo, I'm gonna run through a couple of these episodes." I got up to episode pop. Was it hole 4 yesterday? Boy, there was some questionable techers, boy. But all I gotta say is happy birthday, Tobes. You done us proud, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank
Done
you.
us proud. That man was trying to disrespect for angles and all this. The replays showed.
I need to catch
Hey.
up with that because from when I was because I saw the early ones, Tobs and Matisse were like the worst people
No,
there.
you weren't.
like,
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. That's a lie.
No,
I've never been in the bottom two.
Tobes from hole one was setting tempos.
No, a whole one. Like he's there going wide all over the
Yeah,
place.
my first one was wide. My second one was
Scuffing it, and then the next one you're going over to the right, scuffing
yeah, because
it.
you have.
right
That's.
to the right.
Did you not see the course? Like,
Play angles. You got to play
Yeah.
angles. The ball rolls on the
Oh,
hill.
you know what,
yeah.
Lawless? You got a lot. You got a lot of talk. It's just there, you know. It's just in Barnet. So, boy, when you're ready.
Yeah,
Listen,
listen. I was literally thinking like, if that was me, like, boom, this is what I would do.
I'm just saying there's a certain tax on having Air Forces. I think we can all agree that's not the right shoe for this game. And at the end of the day, I think Tobes, there's a match going on at the end of the month or something, is there? For Big Six.
The
Got a
360
little
cup.
five
I
aside,
think
yeah.
Are we
Oh,
playing?
so yeah,
Are we
It's
playing?
on.
we
It's
are
on.
playing. So you know,
It's
all the
on.
disrespect I'm copping. You know, I'm very interested to see when the game is in full flow and there's tempo and there's players moving objects. So
Do you know?
to speak.
Do you know
I'm
the? Do you
looking
know the?
forward to
Remember
this.
on Do you remember years ago on Soccer AM they did that? You know the drill. Remember that? Yeah, Matisse, don't go on there, bro. After your keepy uppy on the
Bro,
episode one, bro.
Listen, invest while stocks are
Hey.
low because everybody right now is on to me, fam. I'm fine with this. Don't worry, we're going to film next week anyway.
Hey.
Because we gotta go and film 9 to 18, so it's fine. It's all good. What was you gonna say, Lawless?
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Well, listen, let's get straight into it, man. I
Good
mean,
content, though. Good content. That's what I'll say. Good content.
yeah, of course, bro. I'm just here to entertain. Do you know what I mean? I'm on a meme thing now for the rest of the series until we go.
That's
back
the
to
one
this
thing
shoot.
I will say, yeah, is you're taking it well.
I have
Even on the
to.
How else can you take it?
Bro, how else can I take it?
How
True.
Just wait until
If
you
you,
actually
if
want
you
to.
notice, if you notice, like Saeed at the start, very gusto. By part two, it was like just in the let me get my shots off. I was like, yeah, focus.
Before we move on, can I've seen Toby now? Can the rest of you kick ball? Or
Yeah.
It's
Actually,
been
no,
a
I
while.
don't
Ye-
do it.
years,
I
man.
don't do it.
Years ago, man. Years ago. I'm not coming with chest for this one. I'll tell you that. But I'll play. Taking part that counts, innit?
There's a technique here that I used to adopt. Yeah, that would have been perfect for that. The scooper. You guys should have used the scooper.
You're not allowed to chip. You're not allowed to.
Nah,
you're
you
not allowed
can't
to do that.
scoop or chip.
Yeah, you can't scoop or chip.
What?
It's
What?
peak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
bro.
golf,
No.
you don't do that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
you
You have
got
to play it
the-
like it's golf.
You gotta drive
Nah,
that
nah.
shit.
You gotta drive it, bro.
So what? Even if you're in the sand or if you're in the
Yeah, you can't. You're not allowed to scooping. Because in
Uh,
golf you wouldn't do that.
after
You would have to.
After
You'd have
that
to
game
hit
at
it.
After that game
Yeah.
at the Tottenham Stadium, they were calling me Young Rudiger. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
forgot you played in that. Yeah, true. So if you're playing on a pitch like that,
ask Craig Mitch about me.
okay.
Man marking. Listen, no
It's all
breathing
bad.
space around me.
Yeah, touch tight. It's all bad. Let's get into it. I mean, listen, I just recovered from watching my team play in Charlotte, and Charlotte was kicking us all over the place and ended up beating us on penalties. She was all right, but my team, the attack is still a little bit stinky, still a little bit stagnating. But how is everybody else feeling with their pre-seasons? Lawless, how you feeling? West Ham, are you kicking ball, playing nice stuff? Excited?
Nah, it was a bit of a disaster. We played Rangers, and Rangers apparently they'd started their pre-season like 3 weeks early, so they were sharp. They had the energy. They was in front of the home crowd. They were up for it. And I look at that. I mean, it made it even more clear that Creswell needs replacing. Even though I try not to read too much into pre-season, but the big disaster was Aguerd going off injured, which he looks like he's done something to his ankle ligaments, or he's twisted it, or something's coming up. Where we've just signed the guy, he was looking good, he got injured, making a great recovery, and then goes off, and then he just took the wind out of our sails. And like I always say, if you get through a preseason game and there's no injuries, that's a success in my book. Everyone's got their fitness up. When you get an injury to like your new signing who you've brought in to start, alongside Zuma, that's a disaster. And I need to hear more. There's still nothing what's coming out, but what I'm hearing, it could be out for a while, like 6 weeks or something. So that's
What was the
terrible.
score?
What was the score? 3-1 to Rangers. Yeah.
Just try to brush past that, innit?
Fam, he was giving us all the speech and he didn't want to mention the scoreline.
No, I always say, right? I say this. I've noticed this, and this is the same with like Chelsea in Orlando. When you go to preseason, you play these clubs. They turn it up for the big Prem teams, don't they? They switch it on. It's like a big cup final to them when you.
I don't think Rangers are looking at West Ham as a big day out.
Exactly. So why does that apply to West Ham?
Very disrespectful to a team that have won European trophies.
Man said they turn it on for the big Premier League club. So how does that apply
West Ham and their Rangers?
Scottish League.
Rangers, the state of you. Rangers are bigger than you.
Right, listen. We had this on DR Sports.
The state
with
of you.
We had this debate, but
the European final that didn't happen.
To them, like they're the home team. Look, it was all for them they had to win it. They had to impress their fans. We were trying to get the fitness, this, that, and the other. But Moyes weren't happy though. I'll tell you that. Moyes was pissed. So
are you in turn pissed as well, or are you more of that kind of person to say, oh, it's just preseason, it doesn't matter?
I'm a it's just preseason guy. Because the same way, like if we would have went and slapped them like 6-0, no one would be going, oh, West Ham are going to be a force this season. West Ham are going to do this, because it'd be like, oh, it's just preseason. Like, so why is it?
I think it's more about the performance, isn't it? At this point, that's more important.
No, but even still, right? Check this, like, and I say this to people who've been criticizing, like Ben Rama or something. Oh, Ben Rama played shit, but it's like if Ben Rama played great, you'd say, oh, it's just preseason. Why are you getting carried away? Let's see if he does it in the league. So if he has a poor performance, like players aren't gonna go out and give 100% in these games.
I agree with that. I agree with Lawless. Whether they're good performances or bad, listen, if a player's played shit, yeah, he's played shit. But like I'm not the type to go off preseason and start slamming players. Like if a player has a bad game, who cares? It's preseason. No. Harry Kane scored a fucking free kick the other day. I didn't mention a word of it. Eric Dyer scored a screamer from 30 yards. I didn't mention a word of it because, yeah, it's nice to see, but it's preseason. Who cares?
Yeah. I said this to you like the other day, like after Dan's fan base was getting like super hyped on their undefeated Invincibles preseason thing. Is we had that under Avram Grant. We had an invincible preseason, yeah, and look what happened that season. You know, it was disaster of disasters. So yeah, I'm never reading too much into preseason. Just get that fitness up, get ready for the season, and then we see what's what. We've had seasons where we've been terrible in preseason and gone on to have a great season, which I think like that season under Bilic, the last one up to Park, we had a shit preseason. So
fair enough.
Yeah, can't read too much into it, but some people paid $7.99 for that game. That's the people I want. Like, people paid $7.99 to watch that.
Didn't get those money worth.
Yeah.
What about you, Potts, man? How you feeling? Because I'm seeing Gabriel Jesus is banging in some goals, going past some players, looking good. Zinchenko's been brought in as well. He'll probably maybe play the next one. How are you feeling? Are you feeling positive today? We had Lee Gunner on Big Six yesterday night, absolutely dragging your fan base by the head. It was quality.
He's right. He ain't far wrong though, is he? With a lot that he says. I know people think Lee goes about things the wrong way, but a lot of the stuff he says is true. I've said this for a long time that he spits facts, and everyone thinks that, people like me and him are toxic in the fan base. But actually, when you just say it how it is, sometimes you just have to look in the mirror and realise that what he's saying is actually not far wrong. He might go about things the wrong way, and I've been honest with that with Lee and said that sometimes he does come for people and all that. I know he doesn't care, but actually, I respect a lot of what he says, and I agree with a lot of what he says. The only real difference that me and Lee have is that I blame the owners a lot more than him. He doesn't really blame the owners because they put up money, where I blame the owners because of the lack of ambition to actually want to win titles, whereas I think Lee blames a lot on the board and Arteta more than the ownership. That's the only real difference we have. The other difference of opinion we have is he thinks this team is trash, and I actually don't. I think some of the players are good enough. I just think the manager isn't good enough, and I think that Antonio Conte or Thomas Tuchel would take this club further than Arteta would. So that's the only kind of difference I have with Lee Gunner, really. A lot of the other stuff that he says about the fan base is actually quite true, and the fan base get annoyed because he's right. That's why the fan base get annoyed. So when they start getting all crying about it and start saying, oh, he's being horrible to me, actually he's right about what he's saying. because there's a lot of the fan base that have accepted mediocrity, mate, and a lot of the fan base are excited about this window. I think it's been an okay window so far, but I don't look at it and go, wow, because we've still got this dead wood, Matisse, and our pre-season proves it. We've got a game of two halves in every single game. I saw it again last night, I saw it against Everton, and I saw it in the first game of pre-season. Gabriel Jesus, you touched on him, he looks quality. I thought he was going to be good, but my God, he looks quality. Yeah, for breath of fresh air in terms of his intensity, love his running, love his goals, he shows a little bit of quality. Zinchenko, what's that?
I told you.
What, you think I'm hyping him up?
No. I said I told you about Gabriel Jesus. Remember when we spoke about it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you were digging me up. Yeah. No.
But I'm not saying what I've said. I said what I said of Jesus, and I didn't base that off preseason. I'm just basing it off what I've seen of the player.
Off the player. Yeah. And that's calm.
Yeah.
I did say to you, I think he's a good player. I didn't want to start overhyping him like some fans do, because of course the Arsenal fan base get very excited. But from what I've seen so far, and I can only go on the last 3 games, I think he's been a breath of fresh air. I really like what I see. I think Zinchenko, although he hasn't kicked a ball yet, will come in and be a very good player, because I think there's a versatility, there's a leadership, and I can see why we've got him in as a good signing. The others, I need to hold my judgment at the moment, because I don't know much about Marquinhos. I don't know much about Fabio Vieira, who we've signed, by the way. He was in a boot still. So I don't actually look at those two as wow signings. But if the rumours are true about some of the other rumours coming in, perhaps we could start to get a little bit excited towards the end of the transfer window. But as for the pre-season, I still see a lot of work to do in terms of players that have got to come in. But more importantly, some of this trash that has just got to leave this club. It is just absolute pony. Like, some of it is awful. Yeah, I look at Bellerin trying to play football wearing a captain's armband the other day. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Get this guy gone. Like, people are saying that he might be off to Betis for a couple of million. I don't care. Just let him go for 2 million. I don't give a damn. Yeah, I don't give a damn. The guy is rubbish. He's trash. Get him gone. Pablo Mari is another one who doesn't want to be here. Lucas Torreira doesn't want to be here. Maitland-Niles, like, listen, he could be a squad player. He doesn't want to be in a squad player. Let him go. Balogun, get him on loan. Pepe, sort that out. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much to do. Nuno Tavares. There's about 10 players, man. Leno wants to go. Runnison, awful signing. Get rid of him. There's so many that just need to go.
Do you think there's too much? Do you think there's too much pride with our clubs, particularly Chelsea, Arsenal, and Tottenham, where there is a few? I'd say maybe more Chelsea and Arsenal, but there's some players at Tottenham I'm sure they want to get rid of as well, and clear off the books. Do you think there's too much pride in terms of the valuation, or the valuations are too high, or do you see it as it's just business where you're like, do you know what? Fair enough. This is business. We got to recoup.
Yeah, some of us is because we put them on ridiculous wages years and years ago, and we can't get rid of them now. That's what the problem is with Bellerin. That was what the problem was with half the team that we had to pay to leave Arsenal. Pay. Can I pay you to leave my club? That is a madness statement, but it was true. And we're seeing it again. We're thinking, how much can we get for Bellerin? There was rumours, 6 years ago, Barcelona was sniffing around him for 50 million, 5-0, not 1-5. Man, madness. And everyone was going, please don't let Bellerin go for 50 million. Man, I said back then, take it. If they go anywhere near 50 million, take it. The guy's never been that great. We overhyped him years ago, and it's proven facts now. So he wants to go to Real Betis. I can see that happening. Looks like Tavares is going to get a loan. Looks like Pablo Mari is going to go. But what we've been doing, Matisse, is playing most of these players. So we're basically getting these players fit, so they're ready to leave. What about our first team? Are they going to get fit soon? Because it'd be nice if they could. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm all for what I'm seeing at the moment in pre-season from some of the players that are staying here. I think it's very positive from some of the players. I really like what I've seen from Martinelli looking sharp. I like the fact that Saka's still in and around the team. I like the fact that Jesus has been great. Thomas Partey looks to have come in and played very, very well. Saliba, massive hype about this kid, but this kid does look something really good. And I believed it was right in France that he's come in pre-season and everyone's saying he's absolutely smashed it. And to be fair to him, he has. Gabriel likewise. So I look at those things and think, yeah, I'm happy. But there's so much more work to do in terms of incomings and outgoings. And I worry that in 3 weeks' time or under that now, when the season starts, that it's going to be ready, Matisse, because I wanted this business done early, and I cannot see that. I just think there's too much to do now to get a squad ready in time for Crystal Palace. So it's going to have to be, yet again, be as prepared as we can be for the first few games until the transfer window shuts, because there's still a lot of work to do, man.
And Fuad, bro, what about you in terms of Tottenham? I was just saying before we started recording that Conte is putting your men through their paces. The Conte, you must suffer regime has begun. How are you feeling with it in terms of preparation? Because you've also got I think I've seen a report that there's a few players that you're trying to get off the books, the Harry Winks and players like that. And obviously, Potts makes a good point about playing players that just to put them on the shop market. I don't know how much I really believe in that, to be honest.
Yeah, I do think clubs do try and do that. And I think with us going on to, I think 5 of our 6 new signings weren't involved anyway. I think it was Perisic was still carrying a knock. Basuma and Forster got sent home from COVID. And then Spence and Lenglet weren't even signed in time. So you were kind of still using players left over from last season, if you like. But still kind of pulled away some half-decent results. I guess a draw against Sevilla and is it the K-League All-Stars, I think? Scored against them. Yeah, so listen, pre-season, I think these kind of tours was more of a PR thing, kind of get Son a homecoming, he's won the Golden Boot tour. Listen, it get the players' fitness up. It is what it is. For me, I think the more bigger thing at Spurs this summer has been obviously how busy we've been this window. We've already made 6 signings and pre-season's kind of just started, which is kind of foreign at Spurs, to be honest. For me, I think the biggest question is do I think we've done enough to kind of move forward with these signings? I look at a lot of these signings and I tweeted it out last week and a lot of Spurs fans were kind of angry about it, but I said, I feel like maybe 5 out of these 6 signings we could have made even if we didn't get Champions League football. So therefore, are we utilizing the fact that we have Conte, a world-class manager? Are we utilizing that we have Champions League football, that we for once have this big budget for once? And I just feel like maybe we've kind of gone for second or third options. And listen, I'm not saying go get me blockbuster names, but I think quality-wise, 1 or 2 of the signings could have definitely been improved upon. But similarly, as Dan touched on with Arsenal there, I still think we have a lot of players at the club who we still need to get rid of. I mean, you're looking at guys like Reguilon, Lo Celso, Ndombele, Winks, Emerson, Doherty, I think. Rodon. There's so many players there. Mora, who still could, I feel like, bring decent value in. And if those players do depart, we still could be bringing in more players. My bigger issue is the players we brought in, have they really addressed the issues that we needed addressing from last season? Last season, we needed a right wing back because Emerson clearly wasn't good enough. We needed a left centre back. We still haven't addressed that. So far, we've brought in a championship right wing back who we're hoping will adapt and adjust the Conte system, similarly like Sessegnon. And we brought in Lenglet, who's basically a has-been from Barcelona at this point. Has that really addressed the issues? That's the thing for me. We brought in Richarlison, who we've spent the bulk of our money on. Is he really guaranteed a starting lineup position? Perisic and Basuma, for me, are kind of the only 2 signers that I look at, and they significantly improve their positions, and they're an upgrade, and they step in immediately. The others, I'm not so sure about, and that's where kind of my concerns are, where I'm seeing Arsenal kind of make a few moves with Zinchenko and Jesus. Chelsea, if they can do a late push, that top 4 isn't as guaranteed, I think, as everybody thinks it is. And especially with Champions League football being involved next year as well, I don't think we'll be resting players midweek as you think, per se. So the squad depth actually has to be good. I feel like we've signed a lot of players that are bench players, if you like, whereas I feel like we should be signing first team players that push those others to the bench, if that makes sense.
Damn. What about Toby? How are you feeling on that? Do you kind of agree with that similar kind of thought sense where it's like your players are maybe you could have attained them regardless and you haven't really maximized in this window as of yet in terms of the stature? Or is it more just like these are more shrewd signings that will pay off in the season, even though they're not big names, some of them?
Yes, the latter for me. I get it. Investments come in, Champions League football. You're looking at like names that excite you. But me, I said it from the jump. I don't give a heck about excitement. I really don't. Is the team much better than where we finished last season? If the answer is yes, then that's all I care about. And for me, the team is infinitely better. It's infinitely better. Like I do actually share some of Fuad's concerns. The left centre back is definitely one that I would like to see us address. We spoke about this on THFC show. I think if we don't address it, that's a disappointment, considering how heavy-handed we were in terms of trying to go for that position in the summer, the targets that we had in mind. But at the same time, if those targets aren't available, I don't really know how much blame I can give the club, provided there aren't alternative targets who are good enough to step into that position that we've gone for. So Fuad mentioned like Ndicka, for instance, and he would be a good option if we can't get a Bastoni or Gvardo, yeah. But what I don't want is for the club to obviously be in the position they are with, like the likes of Bastoni and Gvardo, where their clubs don't want to sell them, and we miss out on someone like Ndicka, and we go and sign some two-bob player on a permanent deal on a 4-year contract that we did for Joe Rodon. That's what I don't want. So, in a way, I rate the window higher than Fuad does. We spoke about this on the THF show. I look at the signings and I'm a bit more positive on the signings. Yeah, I look at Jed Spence. Okay, cool. He is a championship right back. Yeah, well, he's been signed from a championship team, but based off what we're meant to believe, based off what we've read, this guy looks like he could easily be an upgrade on Emerson. And to be honest, the dirt that Emerson and Doherty have done the last 2-3 years, it's not going to take a world beater to beat them.
The baseline is very low.
So for me, I'm looking at Spence, and I think based on his characteristics, what he's good at, for me already, he's an upgrade on Emerson, and I expect him to.
He's definitely an upgrade. For me, I think he's an upgrade on what you've got. Doherty and Emerson, come on, bro.
They say on DR Sports I'm too harsh on Emerson. Is he good defensively and poor going forward? Apparently he's good defensively.
At best, he's average.
Terrible.
At best, he's average defensively against average opposition. When he's up against good opposition, maybe once in a blue moon he'll give you a good performance like he did against Liverpool. But for the most part, this guy's getting rinsed. So he's actually whack. Jed Spence, it is a risk. It is a risk. You're right, it's a risk. But every single transfer is a risk. We could have gone for a bigger name, like we did in Emerson, like we did in Doherty, and it fell flat on our faces. So Jed Spence, I'm hopeful that he can be a hit at Spurs. And first and foremost, I think the fundamental is the physical aspect. The guy's a unit already. I'm using that as an asset, in spite of all the other things that may need work. That is already an asset that can help us on that side. Someone who's not only strong physically, but someone who can actually dribble with the ball. The amount of times we watch Emerson get right next to the opposition and he pussies out, or he can't beat a man, he can't create separation, he can't go past players. What's the point? So that's on Jed Spence. I agree with Perisic and Basuma. Basuma's the game changer for me. Yeah, he's the game changer midfield because
that's your best signing by far, in my opinion.
He slots into the midfield and with ease. Like there's no midfielder in our team who's better than Basuma. And Perisic, immediate upgrade on anything we had on that left hand side going forward. And then I get it. We still have to shift some players, but unfortunately, for other fans who are wanting bigger names, it's going to be a squad game this season. Yeah, there are going to be players. There are going to be players that will play more games than others. But Conte is going to rotate. Conte will rotate. Yeah, and I feel like players like Richarlison. Yeah, I look at this and I look at that and I'm like, that is infinitely an upgrade on anything we've had outside of the front three. Infinitely an upgrade. You can't tell me that calling upon Richarlison in a game that's locked in at 1-1 is a bad option. I'm not going to have that. Impossible.
No, I agree.
I don't even think Richarlison's a bad signing. For me, the only issue I had with the Richarlison signing was purely defeat. I literally think we got highway robbed because Everton felt like they overpaid. They felt like we had to overpay. 2 years left in his deal. They just survived relegation. It's like I felt like with them being in financial trouble, we could have whittled them down.
It was a lot. It was a lot of money, to be fair. But
how much did you not pay for Jesus? You paid almost 45 million for Jesus.
Yeah.
And yes, Jesus is better than Richarlison. But my point is this. Richarlison has actually took the talk and walked the walk for Everton. He's played against big sides. He's played against small sides. He's scored against big sides. He's scored against small sides. Why would I not be willing to put faith in him to start for Spurs and be able to do a decent job? Why wouldn't I?
You should look at the stats, like when Everton with and without Richarlison is mad. Like the amount of games they've lost that without Richarlison in the side versus with is crazy. Like
I always have an issue with that claim though, man. Like the Richarlison looked incredible amongst Everton was shit. And Everton have been shit for the best part of 3 or 4 years. They've been in free fall.
What about when they
They've been signing a lot of overrated players, let's be honest, from Iwobi to Klaassen. I mean, over the years, Sigurdsson, so many times they've overpaid for players who have not lived up to the standard for them. Even Dele Alli. And it's like to shine amongst a bunch of guys who I've always thought were underperforming in the Premier League and never really had that kind of dog about them, which is primarily what he has. I always thought it was easy for him to kind of shine at Everton, if that makes sense. For me, now will be kind of the interesting test of his level. Can you really step up to that Champions League level club?
He has better players to link up with as well, like, isn't it?
He does. I think Harry Kane with the runs that Richarlison makes, I think it's a problem because
but here's the thing: you've got Kulusevski on the right, you've got Son who just won Golden Boot, you've got Kane there. Of course, he's going to play games in and out of there, but then for me, I'm thinking in a World Cup year, I don't know. It's not a guaranteed starting position, so it kind of confused me when he was willing to accept the move as well.
I think it's the perfect situation for him, though, because it's like that. You know, you can't play that front three every game. You got 2 games a week. You're playing Champions League football.
Thank you.
Healthy competition. Healthy competition. It's perfect competition.
Because if I'm him, I look at Brazil's number 9. You're saying why would I? I'm looking at it's a World Cup year. I'm currently Brazil's main number 9. I've just seen Jesus move to Arsenal, where he's going to be playing as the 9, guaranteed minutes. And I've basically just gone to the North London rivals where I'm basically going to be sitting on bench and trying to force minutes out of it. That's where I'm looking at. I think there could have been other moves where he could have been the main guy. But listen, if he wants to accept this role, I'm all for it.
My thing though with this though, Fuad, is if he's on form, if he's on fire, do you really think Antonio Conte is going to drop him? If he gets put into the team and he scores one game, then he scores another game, then he scores another game, do you think he's automatically going to be put on the bench by Conte?
No, of course there will be a situation like that, but he has to hit that form. Bro, this guy's hit 13 maximum. He's not a streaky guy like that. He doesn't hit 5 or 6 in a row. I'm sorry, never done.
Even if he doesn't, bro, the point of the matter is we are battling on 4 different fronts this season. It's a squad thing. So I don't really see what the issue is in Spurs doing something that teams better than us have been doing for years. I don't see the issue. I don't see the issue.
As I said, I don't see the issue in bringing Richarlison. It was just the price. And if we're going to pay that price, I expect the player who I guaranteed know is going to make that value difference. I'm still skeptical of Richarlison at this top level. I think that level at Everton, that's where he's at. He's that 13-goal a season striker in the Premier League at a mid-table club.
What was Jota before he left Wolves?
Jota's different.
Why is Jota different? Why is Jota different?
Jota is not a guaranteed starter at Liverpool.
But how many goals did he? It's not
over exceeded last year, and now you don't want to use this as the metric.
It's not about being a guaranteed starter, bro. It's not about being a guaranteed starter. The point is when he is called upon, he has performed, and he's performed to devastating effect. This is a guy who had weaker numbers than Richarlison in the league.
And also, just to add as well, Harry Kane always picks up an injury.
You don't think Jota's been a 6 signing for Liverpool? 15 league goals and
Jota's been quality. Jota's been quality, but no Liverpool fan was expecting that when they signed him. They was expecting just cover and quality for when Mane needs a rest, for when Salah needs a rest. When he's gone above and achieved, by all means, they're happy with it. I don't think Richarlison is going to prove
You've proven my point. Nobody, when Liverpool signed Jota,
perform above 60 million. I'm sorry.
But when Liverpool signed Jota, you've literally just proved my point there. Nobody turned around and said, oh, I'm not sure about this signing. Most people are saying this is a shrewd signing.
40 million for me, I don't think is bad.
No, that was
we signed Richarlison for 40 million. I wouldn't be saying anything.
That was 45 million 2 seasons ago.
It was
45 million, bro.
40 million it was, yeah. And I still, even if Richarlison 40 million.
You want to put money on that?
I have an issue. You're telling me Richarlison 60 million is going to be worth it? This whole
also, you got to take into account Harry Kane has an injury every season.
It always happens. Harry Kane's been fit for 2 seasons without injury, so dead that. But let's just hypothetically say Richarlison struggles to break into the side. Hypothetical. Let's just hypothetically say even when he does get games, he doesn't really bang like that. Now for the rest of the season, he's going to have that fee around his neck, just like Pepe, like Ndom, just like Maguire, just like Lukaku. Everybody that comes with these big prices, when you have these stinkers, you get reminded very quickly. And unless Richarlison picks up form and fire straight away, personally, I don't think we're getting value for money at 60 million. 50 million plus 10 add-ons, whatever. I don't think he's that guy. 40 million player? Maybe. Be a squad player? Cool. Richarlison is never going to be a regular front three guy for Spurs. I'm telling you now.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna end it on this. I've just done my Google. Sky Sports. Why did they pay 45 million for Wolves, man, 2 years ago? So that's point number one. Point number two, he was bought for 50 million by Everton to begin with. So I think it was like 35 million rising to 50 million. So 50 million.
This is a player that Barcelona were going in for.
50 million all in. And in 3 out of 4 seasons, he was pretty much the difference maker in that attack. And you no doubt belittle it. You no doubt belittle it.
11 and 13. This is the difference maker you're talking about.
13, 7 and 10. Why is that not good? How is that bad? How is that bad?
You're going on like he's a game changer, world class.
He is a game changer. He's literally a game changer. He's literally won games against big sides in the Premier League. He literally is a game changer.
I don't know. We see it different.
Who would you see?
Okay. What do you mean we see it?
I said I would.
How can you see it?
I was hearing.
No. You said your piece on Richarlison. So how can you see it different? The proof is literally in the pudding. He's won games against Man United. He's won games against Arsenal. He's even won a game against Spurs literally 2 seasons ago. He's won games against Chelsea. How can you say it's yet to be seen? He's literally done it in the league. It's proof. The facts are there. So for all the bad things you can say about Richarlison, for all his issues, his inconsistent finishing, his untidy build up, etc. I don't really get this negativity towards this guy, because you are bitching and moaning about the fee when you see you're bitching and moaning about the fee when you see players,
say an opinion.
No, bro, you're bitching and moaning about the fee when you see players on a similar level go for more or go for less and not do as well.
Do you know what? Here's what I'll say. When I've seen Spurs fan cussing Lamella for 5 seasons, when I've seen him cussing Mora for 5 seasons for giving him no end product and giving him dog, running around like a headless chicken. And now they've just signed Richarlison for 60 million, who's known for being a dog. As I said to Tobs, you're right. I don't know if he's a left winger. I don't know if he's a striker. I still don't know Richarlison's best attribute. He's not a great finisher. He's not a great dribbler. He's not great 1v1. Final ball is not there. Crossing is not there. So it's like, we've signed this guy basically built of mental attitude, and you saying, "Oh, he's proven in the Premier League." And I'm like, proven in the Premier League numbers. It is. You're saying all these. Oh, he scored against United, scored against this, bro. All of those seasons you're talking about. When you're saying 7, 10, and 13. Do you want to mention how many games he's played? Minimum 42 in every single one of those seasons. Now you half that.
I'm talking about league games, bro.
Games are coming off the bench for Spurs. He ain't putting up even 10.
I'm talking about league games, bro. I'm talking about league games.
Even league games. Minimum he's played in the league is 32.
So what?
You should be getting more.
Why should he be getting more? He plays for Everton.
If he's leveled like that, my dog, if we're talking about a 60 million player, I'm sorry. Anyway, Matisse, you said what would be my alternative?
How much?
No. Danjuma being linked with West Ham for 40 million, and I'll see Memphis Depay going for 50 million, which is 65 million. I'm looking at Richarlison, and I'm looking at Memphis and Danjuma there. I'm taking those 2 over that one. I cover 2 positions. I cover quality. I cover a bit of depth, and I cover both sides of the field. Hold on.
I actually give up.
We go. But if we want
I love it.
Do you think Memphis Depay is a Conte player?
Stay over there. So that's your opinion.
We can have that discussion as well.
Don't say but. I want there to be no hiding place for you. Don't say but. I want there to be no hiding place for everything you said. And this is the worst thing. This is the worst thing about it. You can bitch and moan about the price, but you're literally you keep saying that it's only about the price, but you're literally slamming this player and rubbishing the work that he's done at Everton instead of getting behind it. Instead of getting behind a signing that the manager wanted, the manager identified.
Because I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical.
It's not about being skeptical. Yeah, it's not about being skeptical. But
we have to get our pom-poms out for every signing.
It's not about getting pom-poms out for every signing. It's not about that. What I'm saying is,
you believe that was the best value for money for the targets that we went for.
What?
You think Richarlison, of all the forward targets we could have went for?
I never said that. That's not what I've said. I've never said that.
That is my whole case. My whole case.
It's not your whole case. It's literally not your whole case. You're talking about like he's some scrub.
We got Conte and we got money.
You only acknowledge that he's a good player.
I want to go for the best.
You only acknowledge he's a good player. And can I ask you a question? What makes you think the best want to come to Spurs and be a backup dancer? What makes you think that?
Who said they want to be a backup dancer? Do you know why I was saying we should go Rafinha? Rafinha makes you actually consider.
Rafinha went in Barcelona. I turned down Chelsea. What are you
That's
talking
the
about?
caliber of players I'm saying. This is what I'm. You're not listening. You see, I'm saying these are the caliber of players you aim for.
Brother.
So you're forced into changing your
Brother.
system. You're forced into
Where did
having.
I'm not gonna lie, Rafinha would not have joined you though. Rafinha,
He was never gonna join.
You
He
would
was
have been
never
wasting your
gonna join.
time.
You know
I
what's
know
you know
that.
you
I
know
know.
what's
But guess what?
This is why I
for
asked
those
you.
2 days that we were
This
linked,
is why I
I
asked
loved
you.
it.
The reason why I
When I
asked
saw
you.
Jesus,
Can I just say
saw
something
Rafinha,
quickly?
I said,
Sorry.
yeah,
Can I just say
those
something?
are the caliber.
You know
Then I
what's
said,
hilarious about Fuad?
Richarlison.
Do you know what's hilarious about Fuad? He's rubbish Everton as a team, saying it's not hard to stand out, this, that, and the third.
I
And
dare you to rub it through Rafinha.
but don't say I dare you. I'm speaking facts. Don't say I dare you. Because
You're gonna say Rafinha's. You're gonna say Rafinha's doing what Richarlison's doing.
No, this is what I mean, and this is what I mean about rubbishing the player. Look at what you said. You said, "Oh, it's not hard to stand out in that Everton team." I could say the same thing for Leeds. I would never say that about. I would never say that. I could say the same thing for Leeds, but I would never say that about Rafinha because the proof is in the pudding. He's a good player. He's a very good player.
Quality.
And you won't even
Great dribbler, great 1v1,
Brother,
great long shooter. You can name attributes he's good at. You can't do the same for Richarlison.
the facts are this. And you, for some reason, you don't like talking about facts. The facts are this. No, you don't love facts because if you like facts, if you like facts, you wouldn't say what you say about Richarlison. You're talking up. I don't care what his best position is.
You don't want to talk
left. I don't. What do you mean? He plays left wing. He plays left wing primarily. He plays left wing primarily, but he can play through the middle and he can play on the right. Isn't that what we want to do forward? Isn't that what we want to do forward?
Yeah. So what's his best attribute?
What do you mean? What's his best attribute?
What are his best attributes? Because you're saying you want to talk facts. Let's
ask me this about
okay. He's a decent goal scorer. He works hard. He's got good movement. He can use both feet. He's good in the air. He's strong. He's not exactly slow. What do you
good
want?
In the air. You're just making things up.
I'm not making things up. So he's not good in the air. Richarlison isn't good in the air. You're gonna say I'm making that up.
That is not
Richarlison doesn't score both goals with his left or right foot. I'm making that up. Yeah. Am I making it up, Fuad?
Brother,
tell me.
I don't rate Richarlison.
Richarlison hasn't got good movement. Am I making it up, Fuad? I'm making this up.
His movement, he just runs around like a headless chicken. That's his only move.
So how does he score goals if he just runs around like a headless chicken?
Work rate.
That doesn't even make sense.
Goals. Work rate. I give him. I said he's got that dog about him. That's it.
Sorry. So sorry, guys, I forgot. If you've got that dog, that means you get 10 goals.
Yeah. 100%.
You get 10 goals.
You chase down enough loose balls.
This has turned out to be a masterstroke.
You'll pick up some scraps if you work hard enough. I promise.
Scraps. Go and look at the goal. Go and look at the 2 goals he scored against us in the FA Cup, and then talk to me about scraps.
He has moments. He has moments of brilliance, but he is not a brilliant player.
Richarlison.
I'm not calling him a brilliant player. I'm calling him.
You've been waxing lyrical about him.
No.
I don't support a 60 million.
No. I'm angry that you are flat out rubbishing and discrediting the work he's done at Everton.
I'm saying you're overhyped.
If you don't rate Richarlison, you don't rate Richarlison. That's cool. I don't have an issue with that. But you are literally going out your way to rubbish the good things that he's done at Everton. And
I got asked a question. That's
what you did. That's literally what you did. And anyone who watches this back, they will hear it. When I gave you his tally at Everton, you said, "Oh, it's not hard to stand out. Oh, he's a streaky player. He's this, he's that." You acknowledge all his flaws, but the things that he's actually good at, you won't acknowledge. And then you're telling me that you ain't got an angle here.
I asked you to name what he's good at, and you named a bunch of stuff like heading and movement and work rate. And I knew he had work rate, but I'm sorry, I'm not giving him heading.
You didn't mention versatility. The fact that he can do a similar job in 3 different positions. You don't think Spurs need that?
He can play left wing and he can play up front. That's it. And those are the 2 positions which you have the most locked in. So
he's played on the right for Everton and he's played on the right for Brazil.
He plays on the right for Everton. And
he's played on the right. He's played on the right for Everton and he's played on the right for Brazil.
How's his end ball?
So
man, I so want to play. I so want to play this back. I so want to play this back. I cannot wait for this clip.
And the thing is, I didn't even
this clip, end of the season. Wait and see what happens. Tobs wants to hope. Tobs wants to hope Richarlison bangs now. I'll tell you this now.
Let me tell you something about this conversation. I agree that value for money, Depay is more.
Potts, if he flops, then it's on my head. But I have full confidence in this guy to come to Spurs.
Listen, I happen to agree. I understand what Fuad's saying. I do agree more with Tobs. I do like him. I think he's a good player. But yeah, I feel like where Fuad's got a good point is that I don't know how many games he will play, but I know he'll get minutes because of the 5 sub thing, because your 4 competitions. So yeah, I do see it as a good signing. I can't lie.
Just my last point on this, yeah. Because when people watch this back, it will sound as if, oh, I think this guy's the best thing since sliced bread. Not once have I called this guy a quality player. Not once have I said he's better than Rafinha. Every single time we talk about Richarlison, I say there are better players. There are better players out there than Richarlison. But what you're not going to do is tell me that this guy is on a completely different platform to some of these names that you're mentioning, or tell me that this guy, there's no justification for why he's happened to cost 60 million. Okay, it's more than what I would have paid for. Okay, it's more than what you would have paid for. But it's what the market dictates. And you're telling me,
would you rather though have had that 60 million to spend in another area of your side? I think that's where like Fuad's getting. I guess I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Fuad, but.
You are correct, because I said primarily when we went into this window, the 3 areas we must address first: left centre back, right wing back, and a creative midfielder. Until now, we've made 6 signings and only one of them addresses those positions. So for me, when we went and spent Richarlison, I understood it because it's a versatile player. It covers multiple positions, Premier League provens, as Tobs would say. But for me, I just feel like, if you're going to do that, I felt like there was other players we could have got quality-wise and value for money. And then also, as you said, there could have been other positions that primarily could have been addressed, but
if you still address those positions, then it's not an issue, though, right?
This is what I said. This is what I said.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Not once has Spurs this summer said, "Oh, we have to sell players to buy a left wing back." The theme throughout the summer is Spurs have money ready to spend on the right player. Our top 2 targets that we wanted at left centre back, they're not available. They're not available. It's not like we've spunked this Richarlison money and there's no money left in the back. There's money to spend on players, but they're not available.
My thing with that left centre back position is if Bastoni and Guardiola aren't available, I don't feel like Evan Ndika and Badiashile are that far of a level off those. And in my opinion, if you're going to get money, as I said, smart
You've
signings.
Watched him like 3 times, Fuad. You've watched him like 3 times. Badiashile.
Why are you going to tell me that when I clearly told you yesterday I've been watching Tchouameni all season? I've been watching Ben Yedder Monaco games.
Here we go.
And I said I was watching for Ben Yedder and Tchouameni. But all the time, this young black centre back stood out to me. But Tobs can't accept it that people have BT subscription. The games are
BT subscription.
But
I watch League. I watch League. I just don't watch Monaco.
Don't mean we don't.
From the get-go, bro. I told you.
And there's not wrong with
does anybody else here not know about Badiashile? Because he's been linked with top European clubs for about 3 years now.
I didn't know him. I'm just saying, how are you so sure that he's the one that...
No. You told me I didn't watch it, and I just explained to you how I watched it. I just explained to you. You can go check my tweets even. I'm sure there's receipts there, my brother.
There's receipts? Yeah. Fuad? There's receipts?
Yeah. By all means.
Yeah.
By all means.
Okay, cool. Let me check.
By all means. There'll be squad sheets done from last summer where I've got Badiashile in the squad. Please. And let me bring up the receipts furthermore as well.
How'd you spell his name? Because I know who you're talking about, because I signed him on FIFA. Yeah, that's literally. I'm not watching Monaco. When I watch League On, I'm only watching PSG and maybe occasionally Marseille.
Yeah.
I'm not watching.
That's fine. That's fine. Anyway, there are other options that I feel like if the primary target Bastoni 90 million is not going to be there, go and get someone else, because that position is glaring. You're not going to tell me another season of Ben Davis. Langley, I'm sorry. So Barcelona camp now is okay.
To be fair, Fuad's had prop dated back from January 23rd, 2021. Fair play. You win.
Mad. So Lenglet is not enough.
I don't watch French league though.
But I'm trying to understand.
No, I'm saying you don't watch Monaco like that.
But I'm trying to understand. So you've got Ben Davies who plays in this position. You've got Lenglet, and you still need another one. So what was the point in signing Lenglet?
Well, Lenglet's cover.
But Ben Davies is he not cover, or are you selling him?
No. We need to. We're trying to get a left centre back. Yeah, that's the point. We're trying to get a left centre back to push Ben Davies as a squad player, because he did well for us last season.
Because it just feels like you got a lot of players in this area. You got Reguilon, Sessegnon, Davies.
Reguilon, Sessegnon are wing backs. Left centre back, it's only Ben Davis right now. Lenglet is cover for Dyer at centre.
Okay, right. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So right now,
It's
Go
two
on.
positions. Sorry, it's Lenglet will cover two positions. And listen, I'm actually with Fuad on Lenglet. Like, I don't want him. I don't rate him, but I don't think he's going to be bad for Spurs. I think in the way Conte
Conte will get decent out of him.
utilizes him. I think he'll be all right for Spurs. So I'm not really I'm looking at our window now, and I get it. Like when you look at some of the players that we still need to shift, it's ugly. It's ugly sides. Like there are at least 6 or 7 that need to go, but the club are actively looking to push those 6 or 7 out and to bring another 1 or 2 in. And if I'm looking at the business, if the window was to close now, I would still be happy with our business because I think for the most part, we've actually improved this team. And in the process, we've added at least 2 starters to the starting XI.
Do you think with your current team, I'll start with Fuad, with your current team, because I think you're maybe less happy with the business. If you were to say, pack your bags now, this is the business you've done, is that top 4 secure? Or can Man United, with the football they're playing under Ten Hag, Arsenal, are you worried about them? Chelsea, how are you feeling if this is it for Tottenham?
If this is it, I think, top 4 is not secure, in my opinion. I think it will still be another battle like it was this year. I agree with Tobs. There are improvements in our squad, but other teams have improved as well. And I'm sure United will improve as well. They've still done no business pretty much. But yeah, I still think it's up for grabs. I still think if we get that creative midfielder, if we sign another centre back, that's where I feel like we can kind of cement it and lock it off.
I'm sorry, if we sign another centre back and a creative midfielder, bruh, I have aspirations bigger than top 4. I want to be challenging. I want to.
Lawless, this is your time to humble him.
No, it's not even a humble thing because then that would, if we sign. Let's say if we sign Bastoni and Madison will cost around 60 million. Bastoni will cost minimum 54, 55 million. That's 115 million on top of what is around 100 million pound spent. That's
what's the aspirations then, Tobs? You want higher than top 4? What, third? Because you ain't going to get second or first.
No.
Challenge.
No, I'm saying I want to challenge. I know that we're not going to win the league, but I want to challenge. If we sign those 2 players with the manager that we have, I would like a challenge. And with the current squad we have now, I agree with you. Top 4 isn't nailed on, but it doesn't stop me from targeting third. If we got 4th with an inferior squad last season and we've improved this team, yes, other teams have improved, but I believe in what we're doing and I believe in the manager.
Got the manager who can do it. I can't lie.
Why can't we target third? Like we
got
don't
the manager.
Target third, but target challenging. That means like you're gonna push Man City and come close to potentially winning the league.
No,
third, just finishing third ain't challenging. You can't call that challenge.
It depends on the points gap.
No. I think you're conflating 2 points. I'm talking about without the signings, without those 2 centre backs. Now, I'm saying third should be the target, and I'm saying with those 2 centre backs, with those 2 signings, third should be the minimum, and a title challenge should be the target. That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah. Okay. Mad.
Yeah, I think you can finish third.
Why not? And the thing is, listen, I get Fuad's point. Like, we've got a lot of dross in our team, but we literally have a manager who doesn't need every single player at a 7 or 8 out of 10 to do what he does. Like,
I also agree with that.
This season.
It's not the squad, is it? It's the manager. If you didn't have Conte, you wouldn't be talking about like this. That's
exactly.
Right.
We know what Juicy's on. You think I'd be talking about Lenglet being decent for us if Nuno was still our manager? Absolutely not. But we've got Antonio Conte.
No, I agree. I don't think he'll challenge for a league, but I think if you've got any manager that can do it, it'd be him.
So with the signings that we've made now, he's happy with those signings. He can work with those signings. So that gives me belief that we can do better than we did last season.
I like the Memphis shout because Memphis is definitely value for money at 17-15 million. However, I don't see Memphis Depay as a Conte type player, was the point I was going to make. I don't think he's the guy that's Conte. Conte wants people that will die for him, that will run into the ground for him, go to war for him. He needs a couple of players like that in the door who are almost, they play on emotion, and Richarlison plays on emotion. I think Depay, I don't really know where he's at right now in terms of like his career, what he's trying to go to next. Whereas Richarlison, I know it doesn't make sense to you in a way that he's going to be a squad player, but Richarlison is making a step up from Everton to Champions League football and competing with some of the best forwards in the league. And I think that's enough motivation to say, I'm going to play, I want to start next to Harry Kane. And I think Kulusevski as well.
He's another one who could come as well. Memphis, he's been linked to Spurs. So.
Yeah, but also like Kulusevski had a great start. But I don't think Kulusevski's like guaranteed a spot in this team. He's not Son, he's not Kane. He still needs to work hard and graft for his spot. I think that spot's open. Whether Richarlison can be impactful on the right, I don't know. I haven't seen enough on the right. I don't know about you, Potts. Do you think if you used to play Richarlison on the right wing, how do you see that working?
Yeah, listen, I must say I really like that Kulusevski. I think he looks class, man. I can't lie. But having said that, I don't feel like it's a given because there's no player that's a given, is there? Do you know what I mean? Richarlison could come in, do everything Conte wants. It could absolutely bang. And Kulusevski's like, Jesus, I can't get in this team. What's going on? And that, how much people want to moan about it, is what you need if you want to challenge, as Toby said. Because that's why I don't think Spurs will challenge still, even with Conte, because there are a couple of injuries away from Harry Winks coming in, or what's his name? Sorry, Skip coming in, and Doherty back in there, and Emerson Royal back in there. They're not good enough. You know, like Arsenal, we're not good enough to compete because Eddie Nketiah is going to be there if Jesus gets injured, or Partey's going to get injured, and we've got Lokonga. So I still don't think Spurs and Arsenal have got the squad depth anywhere near Liverpool and City to compete with them. Could be wrong because Conte is class, but I just don't see it like that. And as for, I want to ask Fuad and Tobs this actually. If Maddison comes in, which I can't see that happen. But if it happens, then obviously it's a class signing. What happens with the formation? Like, where does he play? Who drops for him?
He fits into the formation. He can play on the right and as a wide playmaker.
Do you think he'll play on the wing?
I think he would. Yeah, we did. We played when. We played
Eriksen.
3-4-3 under Pochettino. Eriksen played on the wing.
Yeah.
Ali
good
played
point.
on the wing. So Maddison has played on the wing many a time for Leicester. And I feel like his version of playing on the wing is different to Kulusevski's. Kulusevski is more of a traditional winger where he can take plays on, he can carry the ball, he can come inside, he can go on the outside. James Maddison is a playmaker. And it's weird. Kulusevski is sort of a playmaker for us now in that right-hand role, but I feel like Maddison would come in and create better.
Maddison would be a ridiculous signing.
I agree.
Ridiculous.
I think the thing Maddison offers over Kulusevski on that side is set pieces as well. I think we've missed a primary set piece taker where we actually look like a threat since Eriksen, and that's what 2-3 years going back now. I think Maddison would definitely bring that. I also think sometimes when you don't always need to play the 3-4-3, if you like, formation under Conte, sometimes the 3-5-2 when you want to condense the midfield, and I think bringing Maddison in more centrally there could work. I think, Kulusevski in certain games, but then even in a double pivot with Basuma certain games, I'd love to see him there if we're going to see that. Fuck it.
Let me ask as well. There was
I
times
just think bringing someone like Maddison brings extra quality in depth. You never complain about that. You'll figure the problem out.
If you sign Maddison, that affirms yourself as a third team, in my opinion, in terms of the league status. I was going to ask as well, because before we move to West Ham, because there's a lot of stuff brewing that I know Lawless wanted to get into with his Borussia talk. But when it comes to Tottenham and it comes to with Conte, sometimes last season we felt like he had the handbrake on. He didn't throw enough people forward. He didn't maybe change the formation. He was too reserved. And obviously this season, you would not want to see that as much, especially if you get these attacking players in, if you add a Maddison. Is there any time where you want to see a back four? Because I know Chelsea fans talk about this all the time. A back four, and you go with that pivot, and then you drop. Maybe Kane goes to the cam. Maybe Richardson goes up top. Son on the left. Kulusevski on the right. 4 attackers. Gung-ho. Because you're a top team, and you're playing against a low block against Burnley. Scrap the 3 at the back. Let's get more attackers on the pitch.
Scrap that, Matisse. No Spurs fan will even hear it, because anytime I've even tried to bring up the topic of, hey, maybe if we sign this player, we can play a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. No, it's Conte. Conte only plays with a back 5. No, it's Conte, back 5. So it's, realistically, as much as I'd love to and think, we could signing certain players and give us that tactical flexibility, I don't think any Spurs fan realistically sees that. And really and truly, Conte hasn't shown anything to say that, because even if you look at his time at Inter, at Chelsea, he didn't really deviate too much from the back 3, even when it was going wrong.
Yeah.
But my thing with that is, though, I actually do think we have enough about us outside of left centre back. I guess you could put Lengley there, but I still don't really trust him. But I think we have enough in this team now where if we wanted to play with a 4 at the back, we could do it, with exception of that left centre back role. But obviously, it may not be as effective. It wouldn't be as effective as when we play with a back 3. But on the point, like when we're playing sides of a low block, I don't really see why we need to change to a back 4 to literally blast a low block team away. I get it. If plan A isn't working, maybe you can revert here and there. But you saw us pulverize teams playing three at the back. So I don't really. For me, it's all about the players that are playing in that system, getting better ball players who are comfortable not only to receive the ball, but players who can actually play with the ball and can be a threat with the ball. Basuma is an upgrade on what we had in Højbjerg on the ball. Perisic is an upgrade on what we had in Reguilon and Sessegnon on the ball. Lenglet, as poor as he is defensively, he is infinitely an upgrade on Eric Dyer and Davies on the ball. On the ball. Jed Spence, upgrade on Emerson on the ball. The only position where you can say, okay, maybe there's not an upgrade on the ball is in attack with Richarlison. And even then, you've got the best striker in the league and top 3 strikers in the world and top 5, top 6 left wingers. So increase the technical quality in this team and this team get better. Don't talk to me about formations as of now. Not to say that they're not important, but just bring in better players. You bring in better players, the team improves. Simple as.
There you go. All right. Well, let's pivot over to West Ham as well, because Lawless was giving it all in the chat about Armando Broja's flying home with his broken leg to come and join West Ham. And you guys are finally... And when Tobs left last week, you know, a player that now doesn't want to sit on the bench for Chelsea would rather start minutes for West Ham. You know, that West Ham David Moyes pull, so to speak. How are you feeling about this transfer? I haven't heard any updates since he arrived in London on that flight. You guys gonna pay the money? Because I'm looking for 150 million.
Listen. Don't try it.
Maybe I can come down to 100 if you're nice about it.
Listen, he hasn't. He hasn't proved that. He hasn't proved that he should command that fee. But there is updates. Basically, Chelsea are being pricks. He wants to come to West Ham. Chelsea are being long about it.
Now we're being long about bringing a player over to your team. But when you got a certain player that we apparently are interested in as well on a long contract that you value, you guys are not being pricks then, no?
Is the thing,
what's the difference? Tell me what the difference is. Please, I want to hear this explanation.
This is what I'm about to tell you, right?
Yeah.
Because I've seen so many of your fans going, how do they like it? Blah, blah, blah. You want one of our players, yeah? So do you think teaching us a lesson is...
Hold on a second. We've already done good business with you with Kurt Zuma. So slow your roll.
Whoa. That was, you know, decent.
Has he not transformed your defense? Yes or no?
No, he has. But
right then. So how much more good favors and goodwill do you want?
No, but that's not good favor because that didn't hurt you to lose him. He was surplus to requirements.
Because sold him anyway. Like he still helped you out. Could have gave him anyway.
Well, I didn't see any other bids coming.
Zuma is a very he's part of that French national team. We could have sold him elsewhere. The fact that we did business with you, you guys need to start reciprocating that.
We came in quick.
He have offers abroad, but he wanted to stay in London.
Listen, bro,
that's what he wanted.
We could have easily forced the player's hand. Listen, you're in that France squad. You're lingering around.
You can't force him to move abroad.
What? You want to sit on the bench? You'll be 5th choice. You could be 5th choice centre back and sit down if you want, my bro. Because that French squad, the amount of players in that French squad at the centre back position. If you sit on any bench too long, you're losing your whole position. You got Konate, you got Kimpembe, you've got Varane, you've got Saliba now knocking on the door. You've got Koundé, bro.
Upamecano.
You think if we said to Zuma, you're not going to West Ham, you're not going to a rival, pack up your bags and take yourself abroad, or you can sit on the bench. Which one is it? You want to go to the World Cup or not?
You want to disrespect?
Bro, I don't want to hear about no disrespect.
I
want to hear it. I want to hear it, bro.
Right?
No.
Let me say something. If for you to be trying to put in groundwork,
Cadani now from now on.
Like,
I'm gonna make Tobs hate him. Watch the amount of prop that's gonna be on my timeline this season. Watch.
You're gonna hate Richarlison.
Make sure you know I'm watching Liga football. Watch. I'm gonna be atting you every tweet.
You know what? Just because of that, I'm actually gonna watch Monaco. Like, sorry guys, I'm actually gonna watch Monaco. Yeah.
Wow. Go on, Lawless.
But no, the point is, Matisse, right? For it to be on an equal field, we have to get a player that's going to inconvenience you to sell to us, right? So for this little, let's teach West Ham a lesson by making Broja difficult. That's not going to make us want to sell Rice to you if he wants to go. Right. You start acting up now and playing the long game. then that's going to make us go, you know what? Fuck Chelsea.
All right.
You want to go, Rice? You know, you go to Man United or something. You ain't
All
going
right.
Chelsea. We've
All
put
right,
in a
so-
bid for Scamacca now, which is breaking news. Darmesh, who I don't want to hear nothing about that source because Darmesh knows what he's talking about, right? We've put in a bid for Scamacca for 40 million euros because it seems to be, and this is the same thing with Zuma as well. And that was the thing that it's going to be like Zuma. If it's going to take weeks and weeks to get that deal done. We didn't just come and say, listen, we want Zuma. Here's the money, and you accepted. You made us wait and wait and wait. Like you're trying to make us wait and wait and wait for.
Who said no one said you're even definitely getting him? Because at the end of the day, I keep saying it, we can't afford to let him go. I just watched my attack extremely stinky against Charlotte last night. And we need forwards. And I'm not talking about Michy Batshuayi. I'm not talking about Timo Werner.
But you ain't getting rid of them players. They're staying. You're stuck with them.
Listen, pack their bags and get them moving. I don't
care
how.
Where though?
Listen, Batshuayi's in the Belgium squad. He scored like 14 goals for Besiktas last season. Make it happen. When it comes to Timo Werner, if he wants to be in that Germany World Cup squad, leading the line, bro, make it happen. Cut your wages down. We need to move players on. I've seen reports coming out today that Tuchel is a little bit frustrated that he can't clear some of the players on high wages or some of the players that are on the fringes. Kennedy, there's no bids, etc. When it comes to Broja, I don't know. We'll see just how much of a desire he has to go to West Ham. I think it would be a little bit weird from him to make that switch now, in my opinion, when the Chelsea striker role is very much up for grabs. But if he comes to West Ham, Antonio's there.
You know,
Antonio's there at West Ham.
Yeah, it's just Antonio. It's just Antonio, and Antonio, he isn't going to be. He isn't built to play all of that football. And I think Broja, if he backs himself, he should back himself to finish with a 32-year-old Antonio, who has like fitness issues in the past, who can also play on the wing, who he can operate, who I would rather see on the wing.
I think he should back himself to play over Kai as well, who's not even really a striker.
Yeah, but you say that, but when you look at, previous form, like I don't think he trusts Tuchel to do that. I don't think he trusts Tuchel to make him.
Tuchel came out and said that he wanted to keep him, so
I think that's all manager noise. Of course, he wants to keep him as an option, but I don't think Tuchel sees him as, you could potentially be the guy or be pushing the guy. So it looks to me, I would rather Broja than Scamacca. I'm going to say that right now. I'm more excited about that signing than Scamacca. A lot of West Ham fans seem to have the opinion of the reverse, that they'd rather Scamacca than Broja. So I would be happy to be wrong about that. The Lingard thing is lingering on. I'm tired of this.
It's boring.
Trust me, like it's
so
stressful.
bored of this Lingard thing, man.
There's breaking news that he's Nottingham Forest offering him a contract around like 200k a week.
That's mad. How are they affording that? That's insane.
I think if that's true, that looks like he's going to Nottingham Forest, and you miss out again.
Well, this is the thing to me. From what I've been hearing is he's what?
The way Tobs phrased that one, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he knows. What's he doing? What's he doing?
Big West Ham with the Paul Powell. You know what I mean?
But let's be real. And this is what's happening here. So his dad, who is his agent, wants him to take the money. Wants him to get the big money. He's pushing for the money. Lingard desperately wants to join West Ham. So he's been between his dad and West Ham. Yeah. He wants to join West Ham. He's hoping West Ham meet this valuation that his daddy is telling him to take, right? So this is the issue, but West Ham ain't budging. West Ham's like, nah, listen, we ain't paying you no 180k a week. Why are we going to destroy our wage structure for that? This is the price. Take it or leave it. He don't want to go to Nottingham Forest over us. Otherwise, it would have been wrapped up and done by now. Yeah. And I think he's using Nottingham Forest to try and leverage a better deal at West Ham.
No, he doesn't deserve the 200k a week. So if that's what they're offering, he's not going to get a better deal than that. And West Ham shouldn't be going anywhere near 200k a week.
But this is the thing, right? Well, for one, if you want to sign for West Ham, but your dad agent wants you to sign for Nottingham Forest, your agent is your employee. They don't tell you where to go. You tell them where you're going, and you help that and facilitate that deal. Right? If you want to join that, if you're happy with that, with the price we're offering you want to join West Ham, you say, Dad, I'm joining West Ham. Let's get the papers drawn up. What the other thing that they're not thinking about, the short-sightedness, is Okay, so he takes 200 grand a week to join Nottingham Forest. You join there, you're in a relegation battle. Good chance you can get relegated. Do you think they're going to be continuing to pay that price in the Championship? So if they can't pay it, they have to release him. Now he's another year older on the back of a relegation season. Is he going somewhere else and getting 200 grand a week after that? Hell no. Is he even going to get the 140 or something that we're offering him? 130, 140? Probably not. So he is a very short-sighted move from his agent.
Yeah.
It don't make
agree.
sense.
I
This
agree.
is the move. Like you're good. You're more likely to get in the England squad. They pay you to represent England, so that's in your best interest. If you're sitting there battling relegation, I don't think Southgate's looking twice at you. Really, you have to really excel to try and get from being in a relegation battle. So, yeah, it's complete short-sightedness. Tomorrow, I think we might know. That was the big thing. Like, oh, this will be the date of my decision.
Yeah.
I've been getting tired of his antics. I've been being bloody having my tweets getting written about in the Italian press or whatever that website is with Ten Hag instead of my picture. And stuff
West
like
Ham
that.
TV presenter slams Lingard.
Yes.
Oh, that was wild.
Slams Lingard. It's like, but no, we're tired of it. I hate all these little teasers like, oh yeah, look, here's a little video of me dancing in the West Ham dressing room. Here's me looking at this.
Oh, is he putting this up on his social medias?
Yeah, on his Instagram. Here's me putting these cryptic, like, don't go where somewhere wants you, go where someone values you. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you know what I mean? It's no one's here for it. Just make a decision and stick to it. What professional players do this? What professional players do all these little teasers and shit? He's putting pressure on himself. So if he does sign for West Ham now, we want you to
deliver.
Yeah, you better.
Matisse, you remember? Do you remember when Hazard, before he signed for Chelsea that summer?
Yeah. I'm joining the Champions League winners.
Yeah. He was like, ooh, white looks good on me 1 week. The next week, ooh, red. I like red roses. He was doing critic shit, bro.
But at least he backed it. At least he backed it. So at least he backed it. But
you're just winding fans up, like, and we're not here for it.
It does.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
like it's stressful. I'm not built for the transfer window because I get sucked in, and this is why I try and been off Twitter. Not as much. I've been not on Twitter as much these days because I live and breathe off everything. So 1 minute I'm all happy when I see some news, then I'll be furious and I want to go fuck this club and what the fuck are we doing? And then when you got players feeding into that same shit that the ITKs do, it's a wind up.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
Yeah,
listen,
man.
We're gonna write it.
He's out there now as well, bruv.
There's many of them. They come in bloody all shapes and sizes. They're fucking all over the place. Ticks, no ticks. I'm not a journalist in my bio, but yet you want to be a journalist. There's loads of them. We're gonna wrap up because I gotta save some Broya talk for when this eventually gets concluded. Let's see what happens, innit?
It needs to happen, man.
I'm looking forward to the show.
But listen,
but let me tell you something. After what happened last night,
club.
yeah. Well, after what happened last night, it doesn't help your case. I'm not gonna lie to you. If the way we play right now in that front three, listen, Tuchel gonna be scratching his head. He's not impressed.
Chelsea or what? Why are you not signing players? Like I thought you're supposed to be champions
we're trying to
of
get the
Europe
defense
and all this
sorted.
shit.
We're getting Jules Koundé. We're trying to get Jules Koundé, and then we go.
But like, so this is what I'm saying. Like, I just want to quickly mention this because this is what I don't understand. Right, last minute you tried to hijack the Jesus bid. Right, if you knew you needed this position and then you wanted this player, why was you leaving it last minute to where he already had an agreement with Arsenal? Why not go in there from early and pitch him like, yeah, we want you. We need.
I don't know. I think they wanted. I think they also wanted Sterling. They was like, do we need both? For me, you need a creative passer as well in this team. Neither of them are that. So maybe you need two different types of attackers, not just two attackers. But in saying that, I would have liked Jesus because I did want him as well. But I don't know. It's a strange one. At the end of the window, I'll judge
young man's career because of your short-sightedness in the transfer window.
Yeah.
You have to let players go for them to be great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Salah, De Bruyne.
We shall see.
Lukaku went off and was great, and you brought him back and ruined him again. So
listen, he ruined himself. Let me not start on that one. Listen, we're gonna wrap it up.
Let them go to be great, and then
this persuasion will work nicely when Declan Rice finally rejects the next eight-year contract at West Ham for the fifth time of begging. Please sign an 8-year deal with West Ham. Declan Rice, bro. He's not Alan Pardew back when he had Cisse and Demba Ba, bro. Like he's not.
Winston Reid signed an 8-year deal when Arsenal.
Of course he did, because he knew he was at his pinnacle. But listen,
no, Arsenal.
These players are not silly. These players are not silly anymore. They're not doing these Wilfred Zaha package deals anymore. So you're gonna have to stop all that nonsense. But listen, Lawless, bro. Let them know where to find you, bro. Pleasure as always.
Yes, absolutely. It was a really surprising one. I did not expect it to be Fuad and Tobs going head to head, going at it. I thought this would be the Spurs alliance, but boy, there was trouble in paradise, as they say. It's always good to see. But yeah, no, great show as always. You can find me Twitter at the Lawless. I'm going to be obviously sharing some of my thoughts and opinions, and some of it may end up in the news somehow. I don't know why, but yeah, come and check me out there, and West Ham Fan TV and all of that stuff, watch alongs and stuff like that.
There you go. Fuad, bro, special guest, welcome back, and let them know where to find you, man. It's been a pleasure. Brilliant show. You're arguing with Tobes. It's like a fire inside me.
Hey, listen, for more of that, subscribe to the YouTube. Me and Tobes got a show weekly, THFC show, so we're always on polar ends of shit, so it's always good to, you know what I mean, chop it up with you lot and with him as well. But Fuad Cadani on YouTube, on Twitter as well, where I'll sporadically say something funny. Yeah.
Some Love Island tweets. I know you and Camps.
And that, yeah.
You and Camps, fam. I swear, it's hilarious. Pots, bro, let them know where to find you, bro. Pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure, man. Good fun. Good to see Fuad on here as well, man. Big up yourself. And yeah, man, come follow me if you want to on socials at DanArsenal87. Just started my new channel as well. It's a month old and I've just hit 3K, guys. So if you could come over and support the content, that'd be amazing. It's Football's 12th Man podcast on YouTube. So as ever, Matisse, top man. Thank you, mate.
Pleasure, bro. Well, listen, guys, make sure you subscribe to all the channels. The links will be in the description. For me, just subscribe, of course, as well. Smash up the likes, and we will see you for more content. Like I said, moving soon, so we should get back to double uploads, but we'll see. We'll see what the news brings. We're waiting on this Kunde. Here we go. So we'll see if Barcelona are going to take another player. If Barcelona take another player from us, I'm tempted for us to just bid for some player from Halifax, maybe the guy that's going on Love Island. Bid for him and see if Barcelona try and buy him as well, fam, because I just need to see something real quick. Do you know what I mean? But listen, big up people. In a bit. Peace.